When I first got Kacie into our family, she was only 10 weeks old. She was very, very tiny. And I actually didn't expect her to get this size. She's more like Corgi full size, but she was the cutest thing ever. She kind of resembled my dog that passed. So that was really special when we first brought her home as a puppy. Kacie and I are best friends. we just love each other. She follows me everywhere. I call her my shadow. And we love our naps together. We just have a lot of fun playing, and I just really enjoy having her around. She's just my bestie, and I don't know what I would do without her.
And Kacie was my first dog ever, even though she was a package deal with Kylie, so it's been awesome having a buddy for the first time.
The first time I noticed something was wrong, I came home from work. I was wanting to take her outside. Usually she's running towards the door with me, ready to go out, and she just kind of stood there and stared at me and seemed just very hesitant. And I think it was either that night or a night after, she was just whimpering and in pain. We took her to the emergency vet overnight, like 2, 3 a.m., and they did an x-ray and they confirmed that there was some disc herniation going on, disc calcification. And he said, you need to get to a neurologist ASAP, and he did recommend SEVN. When I brought Kacie to SEVN, I was overwhelmed, scared, and she was actually still walking a little. By the time we arrived to SEVN, she was fully paralyzed and could not walk. So it was kind of then when I was in the parking lot at SEVN that I knew she was gonna need surgery at that moment. They did an MRI to confirm, and that's when they told me that it was definitely a herniation. And thankfully, since she had the sensation in her legs, the recovery was like a 90% chance that she'd walk again, so that was great. Kacie was diagnosed with IVDD, so she had a herniated disc. I believe it was mid-lower back. Kacie was treated so well throughout her whole stay with SEVN. Throughout the stay, which I think she stayed there for about 3 days, they sent us pictures. I was so grateful that they kind of took her in as their own, even though there's so many dogs there that they have to look over. When they took her in for her last check, we met another doctor who was just, all the doctors that we had met there were amazing, and she gave us all the information that we would need going forward after the surgery. She's always been rambunctious and wanting to do the zoomies and treats and walks and toys, and right after surgery, by the time she was all recovered, she was totally the same.
Post-treatment, I'd say Kacie seems pretty much back to her normal self, which is awesome and so exciting to see. But I think for us, after the investment we put in her of kind of getting her back into tip-top shape, we want to make sure that we don't let her fully run or jump around too crazy, but it's just very heartwarming and comfortable to see her running around again, playing with her toys, getting her own toys out of the toy box. So, and I would say from the time we walked into SEVN, obviously we were a little bit anxious and a little bit upset, but even from the front desk experience was comforting. The nurses were on the ground comforting and playing with Kacie throughout the process, and sent us home with materials to take care of her the best that we could once we're home. They sent us home with rubber mats, the sling to help her walk by and stuff. So getting sent home with the knowledge and the materials to take care of her the best that we could made us feel a lot more confident in ourselves taking care of her post-op.
Kacie's doing amazing today. It's been, I think, now 8 months since surgery, and still going strong. She's definitely not jumping up on anything, jumping down from anything. We're keeping her away from that. So as long as I think she behaves herself, we will be just fine going forward.
Yeah, and talking about family, Kacie was my first dog, and we recently just found out that we're having a little girl, and I'm grateful that our little girl's first dog is going to be a playful, happy, and healthy Kacie.
Yes.